The Grand Coliseum of Nexus Station hummed with the excited murmurs of 20,000 spectators. Beings from across 17 systems filled the tiered seating, their varied anatomies creating a tapestry of colors and textures under the harsh arena lights. The air smelled of metal, ozone, and the peculiar mix of alien pheromones that always accompanied large gatherings in the neutral zone. High Admiral Vex watched from his private observation box, massive gray fingers tapping against the polished obsidian railing. The tournament had been his idea, a way to foster diplomatic relations among the various species now forced to share this sector after the Galactic Accord. In reality, it was a calculated display of Zentari dominance. The human representative approaches, announced his aide, a slender Zentari female. Vex's four eyes narrowed. A female? They sent a female? His guttural laugh echoed through the chamber. The humans insult us. Down in the preparation chamber, Lisa adjusted the simple regulation jumpsuit that all competitors wore. At 26 years old, she stood, 5'7" with an athletic build, utterly unremarkable by human standards. Her brown hair was pulled back in a practical bun, face devoid of expression, as the alien attendant explained the rules in heavily accented standard. No weapons, no killing. Surrender or unconsciousness ends match. The blue-skinned being recited mechanically. Human understands? Human ready? Lisa nodded once. Human speaks little, the attendant remarked with something like amusement. I speak when there's something worth saying, Lisa replied. The gates opened and she walked into the arena to a mixture of jeers and curious murmurs. Humans were still relatively unknown in this sector. Diplomatic relations had only been established 3 years ago after Earthships had accidentally stumbled into Zentari territory. Her opponent awaited in the center ring, a Krell warrior named Draz, standing nearly 8 feet tall with armored plates covering most of his reptilian body. His species was known for natural armor and incredible strength. The crowd roared as he flexed, plates shifting to reveal glimpses of the muscled mass beneath. I face a soft skin? Draz bellowed, voice amplified by the arena's acoustic design. Your leaders mock this sacred combat. Lisa said nothing as she took her position. The human delegation had selected her for very specific reasons. Reasons the alien species of the Nexus would soon understand. The referee, a hovering robotic entity, positioned itself between them. Combat begins at the tone, continuation until unconsciousness or surrender. Deliberate fatalities result in execution. Prepare. Draz assumed a fighting stance, his massive 3-fingered hands curling into fists the size of Lisa's head. Lisa simply stood, arms at her sides, utterly relaxed. The tone sounded a piercing electronic wail. Draz lunged forward with surprising speed for his bulk, aiming a devastating punch at Lisa's head. The crowd's collective intake of breath suggested they expected to see a human splattered across the arena floor. Instead, something extraordinary happened. Time seemed to slow for Lisa. Her pupils dilated, heart rate remained steady, and the specialized neural implants that the aliens knew nothing about activated. Every human sent into space now carried the classified N7 combat suite, a combination of subtle biological enhancements and neural interfaces that made them living weapons. Earth had learned its lesson from first contact. Never again would humans be the technological underdogs. Draz's punch, fast by any standard, moved as if through water from Lisa's perspective. She pivoted slightly, the massive fist grazing past her ear. In the same fluid motion, she grasped his extended arm, used his momentum, and applied precise pressure to a nerve cluster near his elbow that her tactical display highlighted. Then, she twisted. The crack of breaking bone echoed through the suddenly silent arena. As Draz began to howl in pain, Lisa was already moving again. Her elbow struck a precise point at the base of his skull, another vulnerability highlighted by her neural interface. The Krell's eyes rolled back, and his massive body crumpled to the ground with a thunderous impact. 3 seconds from the starting tone. The fight was over. In the stunned silence that followed, Lisa resumed her relaxed stance, face expressionless as the referee confirmed her opponent's unconscious state. Victory to human representative, the mechanical voice announced. The silence broke. Half the audience erupted in astonished cheers, those who had bet against the favorite, while the other half sat in shocked disbelief. In his observation box, Admiral Vex stood rigid, all four eyes wide. "Impossible," he whispered. The Krell warrior outweighed her by 4 times. His natural armor alone should have— "Admiral," his aide interrupted. "The human delegation requests your presence for the scheduled diplomatic meeting." Vex's attention snapped to the human officials watching from their designated area. They weren't celebrating. They weren't even surprised. Their expressions remained as neutral as their fighters had been. The message was clear. This wasn't luck. This wasn't an anomaly. This was a demonstration. "Tell me," Vex demanded of his intelligence officer, "how many humans are there?" "Current estimates place their population at approximately 11 billion, Admiral." Vex suppressed a shudder. "And they all can do that?" "Unknown, sir. Their military capabilities remain largely classified." When Lisa returned to the preparation chamber, Captain Michael from the Diplomatic Corps was waiting with a towel and water. "Excessive," he said quietly. Lisa took a long drink before answering. "They needed to understand. 3 seconds might have been too efficient. We wanted to demonstrate capability, not terrify them." Lisa shrugged. "He struck first. Protocol says proportional response wasn't required." Michael sighed. "The trade? Negotiations start in an hour. Admiral Vex looks like he's seen a ghost." "Good," Lisa replied. "Fear isn't ideal, but respect will follow. They need to understand that humans aren't to be underestimated or struck without consequences." As she walked toward the shuttle that would take them to the diplomatic quarter, Lisa could feel the stares of aliens tracking her movement. Word was spreading quickly through the station. The narrative was changing. Humans weren't the fragile newcomers anymore. They were something to be reckoned with. They were something to be feared. The diplomatic negotiations would go much differently now.